bienvenidos a la Daily Hustle. Soy and a one. Hola y bienvenidos a la Deuces Wild Daily Hustle. Soy Enrique Byrnes y presidente es el mejor cerveza. Dadwater son los mejores bebidas. This is the Rodney right here. If you're into the Rodney, well, you're going to like the tequila, the blood orange water, but don't forget about the Steve. The Steve has got the grapefruit tequila and water. So anyhow, my favorite is actually the Gary, which is the pineapple jalapeno. But that's here nor there because we come on here each and every single morning with us or not with us. And Will the Thrill not with us this morning. Miguelito San Dieguito not with us this morning. But we properly salute our boys each and every single morning. Yes, 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 yes. Woo! Remember this, folks, when we are juiceful, we are useful. And when we are juiceless, we are fucking useless. It is as simple as that. We're going to have an abbreviated daily hustle this morning. I got to get on the road. I got a flight to catch. But let's get right into our title sponsor, Bet Online. That's right. The holiday season is off and rolling with the NFL in full stride and NBA and NHL hitting mid-season form. Bet Online is your number one destination for all of your sports wagering info. With up to the minutes news, odds, trends, predictions. Bet Online is the top spot for everything pro and amateur sports. And not just the Big Four. Bet Online has info available at your fingertips with both desktop and mobile access at any time for almost any sport. We speak English here. Sport that is played, from MMA to international soccer to potentially youth baseball. I do not know that, but that would be fucking fantastic. Head to Bet Online today and remember to use our promo code BLEAV, capital BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. Also, don't forget about our partners at KT Tape. Get yourself some Pro Oxygen tape by hitting the QR code in the upper right-hand corner, my left-hand corner. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, nor did I stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. But I can tell you through experience, this shit works. When you apply the tape, it lifts the skin, promotes blood flow to that area, thus reducing inflammation and pains associated with it. KT Tape, deflaming muscles since its creation. Lastly, to focus for the show, I got myself some Verge. That's right, a little lemon, ginger, cannabis, makes up this shot of pure fucking life. It is fantastic. So, cheers to everybody on this Friday morning. So soothing on the throat. Okay, let's get to the Daily Hustle email for today, which came just, let's say, moments ago. But I wrote this morning. What's so cool about doing these, and I waxed poetic about this yesterday, so I don't want to go too deep into it. I figured out what happened on the day, right? So I go to December 7th. Obviously, yesterday was a day that will live in infamy, and wrote about Pearl Harbor. And then today, when I went down there, I had an idea about writing about a quote that I had, but I figured out that it was the anniversary of Otis Redding's sitting on the dock by the bay. And then I read a little bit more about the song and the history of how it was created and also the legacy that it's left. And I just found it fascinating. So, fuck it. I rolled with it. Buenos dias. Today is Friday, December 8th, 2023. On this day in 1967, Otis Redding completed writing the song Sittin' on the Dock by the Bay. Otis had been in San Francisco performing at the Fillmore and apparently stayed at a boathouse where he would sit and watch the ships come in and then roll away. Sadly, Otis died in a plane crash just 2 days after the completion of the song. Dock by the Bay became a universal anthem for people of all races and colors dealing with any sort of loneliness or other adversities. The album shot up to number 1 when it was released, and Dock by the Bay became the 6th most played song of the 20th century. Daily Hustle quote of the day: "Look like nothing's going to change. Everything still remains the same. I can't do what 10 people tell me to do, so I guess I'll remain the same. Yes, Otis Redding." Daily Hustle translation: we have all reached tough moments in our lives when, despite our efforts, not much seems to change. Yet we have 10 different people telling us what to do, which only complicates the matter. At this point, it's imperative to have patience and simply stay true to who we are. Because at the end of the day, the tide always rolls away. EB. Okay, let's get right into the articles today, because really, I just want to give you guys an update on Shohei Ohtani. We've been on the Ohtani watch from the beginning. We've talked about the different landing destinations and where he would best fit. It's been widely known now, and it's not supposed to be, that there are 3 main teams in the Ohtani sweepstakes. Now, is there a 4th, 5th, 6th mystery team? I think there very easily could be. But as for now, it is the Toronto Blue Jays, the Los Angeles Dodgers, and your San Francisco Giants. So what do we know? As of, let's see, we're going back. There's kind of following this whole thing. As of yesterday, you had an article written in the LA Times by Bill Shaken, who is a fantastic writer and has been for a very long time. But he says Los Angeles versus Toronto in a free agency battle for Shohei Ohtani. It's on. And I'm like, just ignore San Francisco like that? Well, he writes, we don't know whether the Dodgers and Blue Jays are the 2 finalists to sign Shohei Ohtani. We don't know much about Ohtani's free agency, by design that is. But we do know that Ohtani has met with the Dodgers and the Blue Jays in recent days, and that was enough to spark what turned into an international debate. On Wednesday, on the Dodgers-owned Sportsnet LA channel, analyst and former Dodger player Jerry Harrison Jr. made his pitch for Ohtani to sign with the Dodgers. On Thursday, on Toronto's legendary morning show, Breakfast Television, host Sid Cicero shared part of Harrison's pitch with his viewers. Quote, he is talking directly to Shohei Ohtani, trying to make the case to sign with the Dodgers while insulting this entire country. Try and digest this with your cornflakes. Good morning, Canada. Let's take this by counterpoint. Harrison, quote, you'd have to listen to 2 national anthems. Cicero, listening to 2 national anthems is great. You know why? You get to hear the American one, and then you get to hear the better one. The winner, Toronto. The Canadian anthem is superior. Try singing both. Oh, Canada is a great song, by the way. But since Ohtani grew up in Japan, there is no allegiance here either way. Great point, Bill. Harrison says, the taxes will crush you. Cicero says, yeah, we got taxes up here in Canada, but California has the 5th highest taxes out of any state in America. Is that it? I wonder who has higher taxes than us. I mean, it's ridiculous. We're pretty damn close to Canada. So regardless, if Ohtani does end up signing with a team in California or with the Blue Jays, he is definitely going to take a hit in the pocketbook and see about 50 to 60% of that contract just wither. And see ya. Okay. It says the winner is a draw. Ohtani's expected to receive the largest contract in North American sports history and will pay a ton of taxes in LA or Toronto. If he signed with a team in a state with no income tax, say Texas, that might matter. And it does. And I'd be surprised. Again, and it's not even about getting more of that fuck you money. He's going to have enough money for his kids, his kids' kids, his kids' kids, and onward. I mean, he's going to take care of several generations. That's a foregone conclusion. But I believe my take in this would be, I want to give my money where it matters. I want to make the biggest difference possible. So, for example, is the Canadian government the best place to put it, or the California government? We fucking sure as hell no is the answer. I, again, would much rather take it and build an entire freaking institution of let them play schools and athletics complexes around the country and around the world. Like that's what matters. So it does when it comes down to what are you going to do with 500 million or whatever. It's like, you know what, dude, I could do a lot of shit with that. So anyhow, I do think that is something that is significant, or at least I would consider. Harrison says here, Canada is too cold, man. Sixero writes, yeah, it's cold in Canada a little bit. You know what? It also snows in California. As I'm looking at about a foot of snow outside right now. Last time I checked, and based on what Hollywood has told me, the great earthquake is coming at any point, and you don't want to be around any part of Los Angeles when that happens. The winner, LA. The Blue Jays have a dome, but the Dodgers don't play in Big Bear. And we've been waiting for the big one for 300 years. Great point, Bill. Harrison goes on. He says, in your lovely Newport Beach home, you can commute, if you want to stay there, to Dodger Stadium every single night. Sixero writes, the worst traffic in the world is in Los Angeles. Even if you're 10 kilometers away, it's still going to take you 8 hours to get to work every day. The winner, Toronto. The traffic in Toronto is terrible too, but mass transit there goes directly to the ballpark. Freddie Freeman, I did not know this, by the way. Freddie Freeman tried commuting from Orange County to Dodger Stadium. He gave up after 1 year and bought a home in Studio City. And Ohtani could live in the hotel built into the Blue Jays Stadium or walk from any of the luxury condominium complexes dotting the adjacent waterfront. Yeah, I don't know about that commute. It is a tough one, but it's all about the hours. So if you think about it, if you left Orange County at 11 o'clock, you should be able to get there comfortably by, I don't know, hour and a half, 12:30. And on top of that, get a fucking Uber. Hop in a black car every day. Kick it in the back, go over news. I mean, whatever. I don't know what Freeman or Ohtani or that's a good time. Like I actually enjoy sitting in the car when I'm not the person driving and have to pay attention to it. And you're making that much money. I don't see that being an issue. I 100% would go for that commute. The orange curtain is real. I talked about that yesterday, man. Everybody I know who's from Orange County, they fucking stay in Orange County. They do not leave. If they got out for college, they go right back. Impossible to get out from behind that orange curtain. So if you want to get something closer to Dodger Stadium, yeah, I guess you could. But that's the issue, because you get something in Studio City and like literally it could take you fucking 45 minutes to get to Dodger Stadium. That's the problem, where there's no guarantee of that either way. So I think the play is just leave it 11 o'clock. Leave it 11 o'clock and just schedule your day and your routine. That way you can even leave it 11:30. As you get close to that lunch hour, though, traffic picks up. But, man, to live in fucking Orange County, it's, in my opinion, well worth it. Okay. It says here, again, Harrison goes, I guarantee you, every single year, you're going to have a chance to play in the postseason, win a World Series, hopefully rings, plural. Sixera writes, we're going to talk about rings. We're going to talk about titles. Since 1992, who has won more titles? The Jays or the Dodgers? The Jays have 2. The Dodgers have not 2. Come on. I mean, that's not a great argument. Yeah, it's Bill Rice. He said the winner here is LA. Ridiculous cherry picking since 1994. The Dodgers have won more titles than the Jays. Since the Jays were born in 1977, the Dodgers have won 3. And the Blue Jays have won 1, not 3. So, Bill Shaken, thank you for that article. Jerry Harrison, thank you for causing a little controversy in our morning host up in Toronto. Thank you for playing that game as well. So, look, the way I perceive this right now is that, again, you have the 3 teams. And I would be shocked if there's not a 4th, 5th, and 6th team that we end up hearing about. Why would it come down to just these 3? Where is Seattle in these talks? Where is Texas in these talks? Is Boston really staying out of this? What about the Cubs? How about the Angels? Nobody's mentioning them. We know that they're going to make a strong case and they're going to do everything they can to retain them. Why wouldn't they? The only argument there is that, well, hey, we tried it and whatever. He's still I say still, even with the arm injury, one of the best players, one of the best offensive players that we've ever seen. And then he comes back and he's healthy. He becomes the most dynamic player in the history of baseball, doing shit that we have not seen other guys do, period. That's why there is this crazy buzz about it. We can't go over Ohtani enough. We really can't. Now, what do we actually think is going to happen? Or if I were to look at it and look at Toronto and look at LA. So, look, in Toronto, you got the CN Tower, you got fantastic restaurants and some of the most diverse and beautiful people on earth living under a socialist regime. Where else would you rather give 60% of your contract to than the Mounties, an undercover corrupt Canadian government? Loonies and toonies for everyone, baby. Okay, that's option number 1. Option number 2 is LA. It has the most consistent winning baseball team for sure. The bright lights and all the Hollywood feels. I actually went to school in LA and spent a good portion of my life on that 405 freeway. I'm sure the beautiful commute from the OC to Dodger Stadium on the highways from hell would treat you great, dude. And lastly, here's San Francisco. Despite the astronomical homeless rate, the needles and feces on the street, it truly is one of the most beautiful cities and ballparks in the world. You got the bay, you got the ocean, you got the mountains, the marina, Alcatraz, and the fucking Golden Gate Bridge. Also, don't worry about the fans bothering you. There's plenty of 6'3" Asian tech geeks bumping around the city in self-driving cars. So, Ohtani will blend in just fine. Look, Shohei, he's got a tough choice. But if we're to look anywhere for some advice on this day, the 56th anniversary of Otis Redding's sitting on the dock by the bay, let's leave it up to Otis to actually make this decision. Quote, look like nothing's going to change. Everything remains the same. I can't do what 10 people tell me to do. So I guess I'll remain the same. Yes. Fuck it. Stay an angel, dude. That's it. We had to listen to Otis. I don't know. Look, this is one of those things where if you're Ohtani, would you rush to make the decision? Would it be a situation where you'd want to let this thing play out, or you just want to get it fucking over with? I can tell you going through what I went through, and I was only a free agent once, but after a while, it just wears you out. And I can't even imagine what it'd be like for Ohtani. The Giants, by the way, and there was nothing said about this, did meet with Ohtani. Everyone's speculating that they met with Ohtani on Monday. All the top brass was in town. I guess he went down on Tuesday to meet with the Dodgers. So the whole thing makes total sense. But I'd just, damn, man. I seriously would have a very difficult time if you had another option. And I don't know what the state tax situation is up in Washington, but I would like to keep as much of that as possible. And again, it's not because I'm a selfish prick that just wants to indulge in private jets, yachts, hookers, and blow. I know. It has to do with me wanting to see that money utilized the right way. All right, I'm out. We are going to Southern California, Huntington Beach, the OC this weekend for a super regional NIT baseball tournament with our Let Them Play squad, the final tourney of the year. So heading down to SAC today, long story. Hopefully mix in some pickle and then to Orange County later on with baseball this weekend. Back at you most likely on Tuesday with the Deuces Wild Daily Hustle. Will the Thrill will be back next Tuesday at 5 p.m. Then we'll have the Daily Hustle rocking and rolling sometime in that 8 to 10 o'clock hour. Everyone who's joined from the live stream, Jason, what's up, motherfucker? Good morning to you. Good morning to John Davis, Collierville, Tennessee, John Emmanuel Ramos Henderson in Makati City, Michelle Drew, Phoenix, Arizona, Bucky in Birmingham, and the rest of the Daily Hustlers. Let's leave you guys with a little something. I don't know. Got Billy Ball here. Got Man's Search of Meaning. Yeah. Let's try this. Great book by Viktor Frankl, by the way. Yeah, it's a little bit hard. Okay. A man's character became involved to the point that he was caught in a mental turmoil which threatened all the values he held and threw them into doubt. Under the influence of a world which no longer recognized the value of human life and human dignity, which had robbed man of his will and had made him an object to be exterminated, having planned, however, to make full use of him first to the last ounce of his physical resources. Under this influence, the personal ego finally suffered a loss of values. If a man in the concentration camp did not struggle against this in a last effort to save his self-respect, he lost the feeling of being an individual, a being with a mind with inner freedom and personal value. Great book. I mean, just talk about having to win the war of the mind and the most harsh and detrimental circumstances that we can imagine. All right, everyone have a fantastic weekend. Stay safe out there, and especially out in Tahoe, by the way. Weather report. currently, well, it's 26 degrees. I woke up this morning, it was 8. But gorgeous. Watch this. Look at the snow blow. See if you guys see it. They're blowing snow right back there. You got the dude that comes and clears the driveway. And by the way, if you haven't seen the George Brett documentary, which I haven't, make it a point to see it. I also did a